Howdy everyone, Joe here. So we are going to be racking our Falconer Slight IPA into our keg and getting it chilled down, force carbonated, and then tasting. So without further ado, let's get to work. Okay, so everything's already sanitized, as well as the keg has been cleaned and sanitized. If you haven't seen it, check out my vid. I just did a full video on how to clean, sanitize, and lubricate the rubber components of a keg. So if you haven't checked that one out, give it a look, or if you know what you're doing, skip it. It's pretty basic. But first things first, we got to take a hydrometer reading on this bad boy. And like I said, everything has been sanitized. I had someone ask me what I was doing in one of my videos when I was jiggling this thief. Basically what you do is if you jiggle it, it'll fill up further with fluid. You won't have to worry about having to drop your hydrometer really far down, so it just raises the fluid a bit. Looks like we are at 1.014. It looks like. Yeah. And you know what? You all know how I like to cheat a little bit. We'll save that for later. Sound like Beetlejuice. Okay. I'm losing it. Okay, just set that in. Gently. Everything's nice and sanitized. I'm going to set this here on the edge of my sanitizing setup. Okay. Away we go. I've had this batch sitting for probably close to six or 8 weeks. I don't remember. I'll put a little note down here saying that we have brewed it up. I got busy building the haunted houses, as I hope you guys have seen. Check it out. Again, video I just posted not too long ago. My girlfriend, her family, and I built a haunted house in her parents' garage and yard. So you got to check it out. It's pretty cool. So I've had no chance to even look at this beer until today. And so yeah, it's been sitting 6 or 8 weeks, so we're pretty good just to get this thing racked over, chill it, force carb it, and do a tasting. So I'm tilting this so that way all of the beer gets to the tip of the auto siphon. You want to be careful with this, or else you can sometimes pull up sludge and yeast sediment into your keg. You don't want that. About there. Perfect. Every drop counts, man. Okay, let's get this out of the way here. And so now what we're going to do, take our sanitized lid, so. Bring over my gas setup. Because now what we want to do is put some gas in here and purge out the oxygen. Oxygen is the enemy of beer. You don't want that. Grab this as well. Just make sure I've got it all in one spot. So what I do is I'll just turn the gas on really low. And just burp it. You want to go slow because you don't want to force the oxygen into your beer. I typically wait till it gets about 5 psi or so. Not very high at all. You can actually even just hold this open and hit it. You only need to do it a couple times. There we go. So now what I'll typically do is take it up to like 20 or 30, wherever it's feeling. I'll kill it at, like I said, 20 or 30, remove my gas line, and now what I'll do is I will take a spoon, should have this ready to grab, and just take some of the Star Sand solution I've got and drip it onto the areas I had connected to the gas lines, and as well as all the areas with seals. And the reason you do that is Star Sand, as you know, if you're a home brewer, foams pretty easily. So yeah, I found that it's a great solution. Similarly to taking like a bottle of soapy water and spritzing all your connections, what you're doing is you're just looking for bubbling. Because if you have bubbling is bad. And it looks like we're completely sealed up. Again, if you haven't seen it, the video on where I clean, sanitize, and lubricate this exact keg, give it a look if you have any questions about how to make sure you're getting everything covered and getting the best seal you possibly can. But it looks like we did something right because there is not a single bubble occurring. No hissing, nothing. We're ready to rock. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this keg, we're going to throw it into the kegerator, let it sit overnight, let it chill completely down, and then what we'll do tomorrow is we will force carbonate it, let it settle for a bit, and then we're going to do a tasting. So I'll see you all in about 24 hours. Okay, so it's been chilling now for about 24 hours. Oh, time to force carb this bad boy. Okay, the best way to think of force carbing is literally just that. You're force carbonating, you're jamming CO2 into a cold liquid. It's important to get it cold because carbon dioxide is much easily absorbed into cold beer rather than warm. So you chill it down, you're going to get good results. So now there's all sorts of different ratios, I guess, that you could do this. Essentially what you do when force carbonating, you'll set your regulator to a certain pressure, and then you'll dissolve in CO2 pretty much until it stops. Your temperature of this versus your pressure here determines how much carbonation gets into your beer. I don't really have a set number that I go for, except for my method is pretty much I set this to 30 and I shake it for a couple, or 30 psi, and I shake it for a couple of minutes. And really that about does it for me. I don't like beers that are super bubbly. Just a little bit of carbonation is exactly what I want. Mostly I like it for to bubble to create a nice head on the beer. And then maybe a little bit for you know, to brighten the flavor. You know, carbon dioxide on your tongue does make the flavor change a bit. So it's really up to personal preference. If you're going for a certain beer style or whatever, make sure you look up what you're doing. But for this batch here, for the Falconers, we are just going to do it my regular style. So, without further ado, take our gas, put it on the end. Lay it down. Turn on the gas. Okay, you can hear it going in there. Okay, we are sitting at 30. Open it a bit more. And then essentially, we just shake it. Can you hear it? The gas releasing in. It's backed up to just below 30. Give it a shake. And it's already dipped down to just below 25. And again, riveting television, I know, but this is pretty much how I do it. I'll just shake this for about a couple minutes. Like I said, I don't like a whole lot of carbonation. I'm a light carb kind of guy. I don't like to burp a lot. Except when I'm going for a light, spritzy, kind of summery beer, like a real light ale. Then I'll go for more carbonation. Just kind of goes hand in hand again with what you want it to be, because you're making it on your own. You do what you want. But you just gently rock it a couple minutes. Okay, so we've been shaking for a few minutes now. I think I'm pretty much done. So what I'm going to do, kill my gas. I tip it up. Pop this back off. And then I've always got some residual pressure left, so I'll just release it with the hose down, just in case any beer happened to get into the line. That'll blast it out for you. Nothing to worry about. Make sure that bad boy's closed. And so now we're going to throw this back in the fridge, and next time I see you, we're going to be doing a taste test. So we're going to see you in a minute.